were not. You were in. Actually, you were in our preseason.
I was in Portland as well.
I want to cover playoff hockey in Vancouver. I want the fans to enjoy and experience playoff hockey in Vancouver. I want the Canucks to win a Stanley Cup for this city. And looking at Raptors Twitter right now, a fade for Cade. I feel like a lot of them would love to see him there. I mean, I'm not advocating for that, but I mean, I know that's big on Raptors Twitter minds these days.
There's a lot of Twitter warriors out there.
LA gave one out to Jared Goff, and they've already moved on. Correct. They didn't think that could work for them.
It's all good. It's in it. It's in the box.
It's in the box.
Perfect.
For the Unnamed Sports Show, here's your host, Joshua Griffith.
Hello and welcome to the Unnamed Sports Show here on the Sports Talk Line Network, where we talk sports 24/7, 365. I'm, of course, your host, Joshua Griffith, as the voice of the Vancouver Whitecaps. Mr. Don Andrews so graciously announced in the intro. And a big shout out to the matinee as well for the music for that. How fitting that the Whitecaps voice introduces me when the topic of the show today is the Vancouver Whitecaps, as I chat with interim head coach Vanni Sartini. It has been a crazy 2 months for the Vancouver Whitecaps, as they have got results in 14 of their last 15 matches, but a loss in the Canadian Championship to Pacific FC saw Vanni Sartini take over for head coach Mark DeSantos. Vanni is impressed so far with 4 wins, 2 draws, and just 1 loss. And Vancouver is coming off an impressive 3-0 win against San Jose Earthquake. That saw Brian White record his first MLS hat trick. So there's so much Whitecaps news to get to. Before that, we need to take care of some housekeeping, of course. So make sure to subscribe to the Sports Talk Line YouTube channel. Hit the like button down at the bottom. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the Whitecaps season, what you think of the interview with Vanni Sartini, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at Joshua Griffith 0. And now that we have everything taken care of, let's get right to the interview here on the Unnamed Sports Show with interim head coach of the Vancouver Whitecaps, Vanni Sartini. All right, so I'm so thrilled to be joined now on the Unnamed Sports Show by interim head coach of the Vancouver Whitecaps, Vanni Sartini. Vanni, how are you doing today? Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Joshua. I'm very good. Yeah, so everything's going well. Thank you.
Good to hear. Obviously, so a big 3-0 win on Saturday night at home against San Jose. What are your overall thoughts on the match now that you had a chance to kind of just look back at the play of your team?
I think talking about the 7 games that have been in charge, it was probably the best performance. I think we did very well, especially in 2 moments of the game that for us are key. So the high pressure. So when they have the ball, and try to keep them as far as we can from our goal, and the build up when we start our possession. So I think that these 2 moments of the game they've been done fantastically Saturday, and so that's the reason why the performance was really good.
And Vanni, something I always take away from your post-game press conferences, just in the 7 games now that you've had, is something that you're really stressing with the team is a we mentality. Like, people will ask, hey, how did Max do? How did so-and-so do? And you always bring it back to it's 11 people, it's the pitch, it's the 20, it's the academy. Like, how important was that of a message for you when you started as the interim coach for the Whitecaps?
Well, I think it's the key message for me, because it's the most important message, because in a lot of aspects of life, I would say probably in every aspect of life, but especially in soccer, it is a team sport. No one achieves something by himself. And I firmly believe that for an individual to shine, you shine if the contribution to the group that you are part of, it's something that help your teammate, and it's within the I would say the principle and the idea that lead the team. So I think that especially again in soccer, we always need to look from the big picture to the small picture, and so the first thought needs to be the team every time. Only if we think about the team, then we can really going down to the single individual. But I don't believe that the group is a union of different individuals. I believe the other way around, that the individual is someone who is part of a group.
Well, Vanni, I'll take a note from you, and I'll do the same with my question. So let's start with the big picture. You guys are 1 point out of 7th place, 2 points back of 5th, with 7 matches to go and a game in hand on the 5th and 6th, Real Salt Lake and LA Galaxy. What's it going to take for this team to get across the playoff line?
I would say even the bigger picture is that we missed 7 games. At the moment, we have 37 points. And history tells us that if you make 47, 48 points, you're going to be in the playoff. So what does it take? It takes, if we make 4 wins out of 7, we are for sure in the playoff. If we make 10 points, maybe we are in the playoff. If we make less than 10 points, it's hard. So we know that what we need to do. So we don't need to think about Salt Lake, about the Galaxy, about Minnesota, about LAFC. We need to think about ourselves and to put ourselves in the condition to make those 11, 12 points that we need in order to be sure to be to the playoff.
So, I mean, what is that going to take from you in training specifically? Because, you came from the director of methodology with the club. So obviously you had your hands in everything a fair bit already, but is there some other stuff, like maybe off the pitch wise or just in training that you've kind of implemented that you think is going to help the squad?
Well, in training, we need to focus a lot about ourselves, about our way of playing, and about our, I would say, kind of game model, style of play, how do you want to call it? Because I think that the key now is consistency, and the key now is to build on the good performance that we had, to be honest, so far. So we implemented some changes in the last few weeks, and now we need to improve little by little the way that we're playing now, but there won't be, I would say, big changes from game to game in terms of structure and in terms of tactics. They're going to be change for sure in every game in terms of lineup, but I will. The thing that we need to do is to really work very well, especially this week and next week. They're the only 2 weeks that we will be able to work on a full week of training to really go deep down our principle and making sure that whoever's going to play is going to give his contribution 100% from now on.
And you have some players that won't be playing, unfortunately, for your side. Well, I guess not unfortunately, because I mean, with their national team, and but the Sounders are also going to have some players up too. What's it going to be like heading down for a Cascadia Cup clash on Saturday?
It's always beautiful, to be honest, to play the Sounders, because I'm actually pretty sad that our fan cannot make the trip there. There's still a lot of restriction, because it's always beautiful when we play the Cascadia game. Even on the road, we have a lot of fans coming from Vancouver that they make the trip there. So it's really beautiful, actually. And it's exciting, and we don't have to be. We don't have to hide ourselves by the fact that. The Sounders are we're gonna miss some players, but they're gonna miss some players too. So no one, I would say, has to take this international break as an excuse, because we know that that's how it works here in MLS, and so we know that the game is going to be hard. But I think we have all the abilities, the skills, and the condition at the moment to try to make points on the road.
Absolutely. And I'm joined here by Vanni Sartini, interim head coach of the Vancouver Whitecaps on the Unnamed Sports Show. So, you kind of mentioned the excitement, and something that I've noticed is you are a very animated guy. You are a fun to watch on the sideline. I don't know what you're jumping on over there. I hope everything's okay and you're not breaking anything, but have you always been this passionate about football?
Yes, that's the person I am, like about soccer, but also about life. So I'm a really, I like to really express who I am and to express my passion. And also I'm a guy that really takes energy from other people. So I'm a very extrovert person. So it's the thing that you guys see me doing on the sideline, it's not a show or something. It's exactly who I am. So that's the only way that I know how to live a game. That's the thing.
Well, and your personality kind of shines from, like I said, from your antics on the sidelines, your pregame speeches, all of that stuff. But then also too, I noticed that you're very active on Instagram. You're out. You have a cat. I saw Har asked about that last week. So Freida, so I'm a huge cat guy.
Good.
So I was wondering, what kind of cat is she?
She's a Bengal cat.
Oh wow!
And but I have to be honest, I've never been a big animal person in my life. My wife is more the animal person in my life. But of course, as always happened, that we brought this cat home, and then of course I fell immediately in love with her, and now I'm a 100% cat person too. So yeah, it's fun to have her in the house for sure.
Yeah, I have my cat, and she's sleeping somewhere here. But yeah, no, I'm 100% cat guy too, and my God, I'm in love. Did you have any pets when you were a kid? Like any interesting pets, like a snake or a spider or anything like that?
No. I remember I had a lot of little fish and everything. My grandma had a dog, and so that was part of my upbringing, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And but not everything exotic. No. I'm a really 100% inner city boy. So really, really normal thing.
Okay, well, Vanni, I got a couple more fun questions for you, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, I don't know how much time we'll have for you to answer this one, so I'll ask it first. But what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is probably pasta.
You're gonna have to be more specific, though.
Okay, so I'm gonna be more specific. Yes. So I love pasta, but pasta is for us Italian. It's a food that you do every day at home. So with different sauce, or pesto, or tomato sauce, or whatever. But I'm a pizza lover for sure. Yeah, I love pizza. Yeah. I would eat pizza every day, and I really miss a kind of veggie lasagna with pumpkin and gorgonzola that my grandmother does. That's when I go to Italy, it's something that I enjoy. I'm a very lucky person. So I still have my grandmother alive. So
that's awesome. Yeah, wow, that sounds amazing too.
Yeah, it is. And of course, I also love a lot of the traditional lasagna or the bolognese sauce or the T-bone steak that we have in Florence, my city. But 5 years ago, I made a big decision in my life. I became a vegetarian.
Oh, good for you.
So that's I still dream about the meat sometimes, but I'm okay without it.
Hey, you know what? You don't need a meat to make a great meal. I made a nice garlic and olive oil pasta.
Very
with
good.
Some cilantro the other day. You don't need meat to make it.
No, it's true. It's really true. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the favorite stadium that you've ever played in?
This favorite stadium, I love the atmosphere of the stadium in Genoa. That is the Genoa and Sampdoria Stadium, the Luigi Ferraris. That is very beautiful. It's not that big, but it's like I think it's really beautiful, and the atmosphere there is fantastic. Both the team, they have very good fans, and you can another stadium that is beautiful. The first time that I went inside and to be the assistant coach and playing there, it was San Siro in Milan. That's really that's beautiful. In MLS, the best atmosphere of MLS. I know I shouldn't say that because they are rivals, but Portland is by far the best atmosphere in MLS.
It's a pretty cool atmosphere. I've traveled down for some away matches. They do a nice thing, and they treat us away fans pretty nice too. When I used to go down as a fan there. So on the opposite spectrum, what's your least favorite stadium that you've ever played at?
Least favorite stadium.
And it's funny because I asked Florian Youngworth this a couple weeks ago, and he said Starlight Stadium, the one in Victoria.
I wasn't there, and to be honest, I got the job because of that. So I can't say that.
That would be bad.
and here in MLS, I really didn't like. Now they changed. They play when. So I lived in Chicago, so I love Chicago. But the stadium where the Chicago Fire were playing before in Bridgeview was terrible. was really terrible. It's like I didn't like it. In Italy, let me think about probably stadium that I don't like. I don't like stadium where there's the track. So stadium like in Rome, like in Naples, and you have the track and the fans are so far away. It's I don't like that kind of atmosphere. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one. We got that in North America a lot at the beginning, and now they're starting to move away from it, which is really nice to see. Has anyone ever thrown anything at you?
Yeah.
And what is the most interesting thing someone has thrown at you? Because I've gotten some good answers from this question.
Yes. You know, both when I played, because I played as a goalkeeper, so it was very easy, and I played in the lower league, so not big stadium. So people are behind your goal, and they were always sending I would say the most funny people of the little town that we were playing against to be behind me. So I got of course water, I got beer. The one that I get with more pride is when I was at Livorno. So Livorno is a very, I would say, opinionated. They have very opinionated fans. And politically, so they're on the far left of the spectrum, and we lost at home against Lazio, where their fans are far right on the political spectrum. So for them, it was like a derby. They were very pissed, and there was this guy that he was basically crazy with the fan. They were talking to us. He was very mad to one of our players. I was the assistant coach, so I wasn't that guy on the spotlight. So they weren't very mad at me. But this guy tried to spit to the player, and he got me. So at the end, that's, I would say, the worst thing that happened to me.
I've got a lot of answers so far, and that one hasn't been on it there. So that, I guess, would have been back in like 2013, 2014 there.
2014. Yeah. It was like end of the season. Yeah. 2014.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know, doing my homework on you, just take a couple more minutes of your time, Vanni. I'm just really enjoying talking to you. Anytime you need to go, or Nathan does, just give me the cutaway. But you know, you've done a lot of things working with the U.S. national team. You know, back in your time at AS Livorno, just, you know, head of opponent analysis, and just what's your favorite part about, I guess, coaching football or that aspect of things?
Well, you know, I'm really happy that I did a lot of things in soccer. So, because even my path, I know that is very unusual path because I didn't just coach. I was a coach and a teacher, a coach education. So that's what I enjoy more. I enjoy the teaching part of soccer. I enjoy teaching things to the player on the field. I really enjoy to be a teacher of coaches when I've been an instructor of coaches. And so I always say that to be a top coach in the world, you need to be a teacher, a leader, and a manager. Of the three roles, the role that I enjoy the most, and where I think I'm also better of the three, it's the teaching role. So that's how I see being a soccer coach, and then how I approached everything. Even when I was an analyst, because you said I worked like this for the youth national team in Italy, and also when Livorno hired me at the beginning, I was analyst and assistant coach. So my first job was analyst. I was always in the idea of to think about as a coach and to think about how to get the analysis in order to teach something to the players or to the other coaching staff and so on. But that's because the most beautiful thing about this game, every time I say that it's a team effort, and you need to be every day a teacher and a learner, because every day you're gonna teach something and you're gonna learn something on the field for sure.
I think that's a perfect way to end it. So Vanni, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck this weekend against the Sounders.
Thank you, Joshua. Anytime.
Cheers. All right, so that was just such a blast chatting with Vanni Sartini. Obviously, we chatted about the last match against San Jose. I'll look ahead to the Vancouver Whitecaps season, the last 7 games, what they need to do to get past that playoff line. Like we mentioned in the interview, the Vancouver Whitecaps sit right now in 8th place with 37 points, 1 point behind Minnesota, and 2 points behind both LA Galaxy and Real Salt Lake, with a game in hand of both teams. So it will be interesting to see what happens this week. Vanni Sartini said he's got the squad set, the mindsets, they're ready. They're going to be without Maxime Grapeau, going to be without Lucas Cavallini. Didn't travel to Mexico with the Canada men's national team. He remained behind in Vancouver training. He trained separately with Ranko Veselinovic, who seems to be out as well. Good news is it looks like Eric Godoy and Christian Gutierrez will be back in the fold on Saturday against the Seattle Sounders, but we'll wait and see for final confirmation, as we have a couple days of training left to go. Beyond that, the Whitecaps have 7 matches left to go, 3 at home, couple tough ones here with the Seattle match on Saturday, and they take on Sporting Kansas City on October 17th. Really hope that you guys enjoyed that interview as much as I did chatting with Vanni Sartini, and I hope that you guys tune in next time on the Unnamed Sports Show. Make sure to check back at the Sports Talkline website for the latest news and recaps and updates on the Vancouver Whitecaps and pretty much every other sport. Like I said, follow me on Twitter, hit all that like and stuff at the bottom, and really hope that you guys enjoyed that chat. And I have been your host, Joshua Griffith, here on the Unnamed Sports Show. Remember, love sports, all sports.